Going to talk about why you have to have a warehouse in the United States if you want to sell to Wayfair. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so why do you need to have a warehouse in the United States? Well, first of all, it is a it is just flat out, it is a requirement. If you're going to sell to Wayfair, you have to either have what is called a 3PL or a third party logistics warehouse. That's where you pay someone to have space in their warehouse, or you have your own. And one of the things that we get asked all of the time is, well, can I just use, my Amazon FBA for my warehouse? And the answer is no, absolutely, positively not. And I can go into explain a little bit more of why that is in just a second. So let's take a step back and let's talk about the 3PL. There are many, many services across the United States that fulfill this need. And if you need some recommendations, comment below with 3PL, and I can set you up with a list of some possible companies to work with. But like I said, you pay them a fee. You have a monthly storage fee for the amount you take up, and then you also pay them like a pick pack fee and to unload containers and that sort of thing. So that's where you have your 3PL service. I know the argument is going to be that, well, isn't that what Amazon's FBA is? And the answer is not really. Amazon does that. Is an FBA is really best used when you're selling and fulfilling only Amazon orders. Yes, they will fulfill other orders. However, if there is a problem, like let's say with like in the pandemic, because this literally just happened. So remember back in the spring, Amazon stopped shipping and receiving a bunch of orders. They stopped shipping any order that was not an Amazon order. So for instance, if you used them for your 3PL to sell to, like, say, Overstock or Wayfair, those orders didn't go out. And it hurt people and their bottom line, because those internet retailers of Overstock and Wayfair expected them still to go and be shipped. So bottom line is, you don't want to use Amazon's FBA because they prioritize Amazon orders. So you have to find another alternative. Now, the next thing that people always come to me and say is, well, great, I'll just use Castlegate. No, Castlegate is not like, the traditional 3PL. Castlegate is, at the end of the day, yes, it is a distribution hub, right? But at the end of the day, it really is what we define as a marketing tool. You use Castlegate when you already are an existing vendor with a supplier with Wayfair. And then you only take your top selling items and put them there. You can have it direct, send them directly to the facilities and just like you would, any other 3PL service, but you don't use that space to test out product and see if it's going to work. A side note to that is that Castlegate has started saying that, oh, well, yes, we will actually ship other orders too. No, don't do that. It's the same thing as the Amazon FBA. They're going to prioritize their orders for Wayfair customers, just like Amazon prioritizes their orders for Amazon customers. The two don't like each other and they don't mix, so don't do that. So anyway, so the only option that you really have is logistically is finding your own space if you want to rent it, or a 3PL. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about a real client of ours, and he's done something a little different, and I'm going to be honest, he is the first one that I've ever heard of that has done this, and it technically is working for him. Not that I would necessarily recommend this for a lot of people, but it technically falls within the parameters. So this company is a very small, pretty much a one-man band, and he makes wooden furniture. And he makes it all in his wood shop, which happens to be in his garage. And this very enterprising individual has then started selling to Wayfair and is doing pretty well. He stocks very limited amounts. He can make sure that he can turn it around very quickly, and has a good little business model. He has actually used his home address, his garage, as his warehouse. So far, Wayfair has never said you can't do that. You do need to make sure you set up special relationships with like FedEx and UPS and those type of organizations to make sure that they will treat your address as a business address and not as a residential address. So those are conversations you have to have with those carriers. But that's what he's doing. And it's interesting because yesterday I literally got asked this question on the phone is, well, why can't I just use my garage? You can. The problem is, what if you have a really, your sales start to pick up on a more rapid pace? You can't fulfill them all out of your garage, and quite frankly, your neighbors won't be very happy with that. So in this case of the gentleman I'm talking about, it is his actual short-term solution. He wants to grow and expand, and as soon as he can get out and have his own space, he's going to do that. But if you're just starting out and you have a very limited, supply of products and range and so forth, then technically, yes, you can use your garage as your warehouse. So to recap, you cannot use Amazon's FBA for your warehouse. It is not a good idea. Yes, technically you could use your garage. No, you should not just go straight into Castlegate, and Wayfair will not agree to do that. And third, a 3PL really is your best bet if you're just starting out. The 3PL will process your orders. They'll manage your uploading your inventory for you. They really make it a lot more seamless. Yes, it is an investment, but so is the wholesale channel. It's just part of doing business here in the U.S. The good news is if you do have a warehouse in the U.S. and you sell to Wayfair, they will ship products up to Canada, from the warehouse here. So that's a positive. Anyway, all right. Well, so if anybody has any questions, I'm trying to see if I have any. Let's look. If you have any questions, then don't hesitate to pop them below. Or if you want to learn more about how to sell to Wayfair or Overstock or any of these other sites, send me a text to this number. It comes directly to me. It's 980-825-4376. It's right here on the screen too. So just text me directly and I can answer any question that you have. So I hope you found this is helpful. It's a question that we get asked all the time, and I just wanted to really kind of set the record straight. Next week on Sales Tip Tuesdays, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the requirements to sell, not just to Wayfair, but also other online customers, especially the ones that are not marketplaces. They seem to really be confusing to folks. So we're going to talk about that a bit on Sales Tip Tuesday. And if you have something in particular you want me to answer, put it in the comments or text me. All right, so shoot me a text and I would be happy to answer any question you have. Hope y'all have a great week, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.